Hey y'all, it's Base Kato and I'm back with another video. So I don't even know how to title this video or how I'm going to start this video, but we're just going to go ahead and start it. So if you're ever in the city of Houston, or to be honest, anywhere, and you're trying to rent a car, do not rent from Easirent. This video in particular is regarding Easirent. On their address is 15840 John F. Kennedy Boulevard, Houston, Texas 77032, United States. Do not rent a car from them, and I will tell you guys why. So let's go ahead and start this little story time. So this literally happened last week. So my parents came into town. They flew into town from, it don't even matter, and they wanted to get a rental car, right? So I don't know why my parents, they just weren't thinking. I think they were just so excited to come to Houston that they didn't even think to rent a car beforehand. So they came to Houston in the morning, came to my place, then we ate out. Then after we ate out and came back to my place, it was around 12 p.m. So a little bit over noon. So we still had all day to do things, right? And my parents, they're like, oh, we don't want to Uber everywhere. Like, Uber is cool and all, but it's like at a certain point, like, Uber isn't the move. Like, sometimes you just want to have your own car to do things. Mind you guys, my car still isn't here yet from Atlanta. I'm getting it shipped next week, so I don't even have my own car here. So this is pretty much what happened, you guys. So my parents and I, we were sitting at my countertop, and my dad was on his phone looking up cars to rent. And I don't know why. I think he either used rentalcar.com, Expedia, or Priceline, one of those three. But basically, he didn't go to the actual source itself, like avis.com, budget.com, whatever. Like, he just went to a third-party website, which I'm not gonna lie, like, a lot of people use these third-party websites, so that's why I wanted to make this video. So he saw a car that was, available to rent on one of these third-party websites. And mind you, this website did have cars from like Avis, Budget, National Car, all like the well-known rental car companies, right? And I even told my dad about Turo, but I don't know why. He saw like a really good deal on one of these third-party websites for like just a regular compact car, because that's like all we really needed. And I think it said it was like $35 for a day. So like, that's a pretty good price, right? This was the first red flag, you guys. Why was the car so cheap? Like, sometimes things are cheap for a reason. That's because it doesn't work, or it's a scam type ish, right? And then second off, Easirent, like, I thought it was like a catchy name or whatever, but no, it's not catchy, because ain't nothing easy about renting their cars, right? So, and then third of all, it's like, I've never even heard of Easirent. Like, if I do rent from like a regular rental car place that's like not Turo, it's always like the standard, like Avis, Budget, this, that, and the third. No one's heard of Easirent. Like, what the heck is that? So when we got into we ordered an Uber to go to the International Airport of Houston, whatever. We told our rental car driver to take us to the rental car area, right? Because there's a whole separate like center that Uber drivers can drop you off at, so you can like rent a car. So we made the trip. Mind you guys, it's like 12:30 p.m. at this point, so keep in mind like the time. So we got our Uber. We were on the way to the airport, you guys. And while we were on the way to the airport, like, it took so long. It was like a journey even getting to the airport, you guys. Like, because first of all, there's the Houston Astros game playing. So it was hella traffic, like, in that area. And then for some reason, it was so many, like, Houston has so many highways, you guys. And I haven't been able to, like, get out and about. So yeah, all the highways, like, you could see cops like blocking the highways off, and like traffic was stopped. But luckily our Uber driver did know like some of the side roads, so we were able to maneuver around that. So y'all, getting to the IAH airport was like a journey, right? So finally, after like 30 minutes, we finally got to like the rental car area of the IAH airport, right? And so our Uber driver dropped us off, and he told us to go upstairs, and in the rental car center is like upstairs. We ain't follow his directions though. So well, we did go upstairs, but then we were like, wait, like, I think we're in the wrong area. So we went back downstairs, and mind you, when we got dropped off, of course we could see Avis. Like, that was one of the biggest like rental car companies there, and then like some of the other rental car companies. But we weren't seeing Easirent yet, right? So like it took us a while to actually find the actual rental. Well, it didn't take us a while. It like took us maybe 10 minutes to actually find the rental car center area in the IAH airport from like coming from outside. So once we were in that part of the airport, yes, we saw Avis, Budget, Nationwide, or whatever that one is called. We literally saw like every single rental car company but Easirent. And it was slowly starting to get annoying, you guys, because it's like, wait, where's Easirent? Like, what the heck? So pretty much we were walking aimlessly around the rental car center, right? And then finally, like, we asked somebody, where's Easirent? And the guy told us that we had to take a shuttle bus from the rental car center all the way to the Marriott Hotel. And we were like, okay, like we've never heard of a rental car center being in a hotel. And that's the second red flag, because why is Easirent not in the main rental car hub where, you know, once you get off a flight, you would go there to rent your car, you know? And it's like there's 10 other rental car companies but Easirent. Come on now. So we had to go through the airport to get to like the shuttle bus area. We had to make sure that like we found the right shuttle bus that would take us to the Marriott. And so this guy, again, like I said, this guy told us that we had to go to the Marriott. So we got on this one shuttle bus, and the bus was taking us all around like the IAH airport, right? Which that airport is like low-key big. Like I feel like it's bigger than Atlanta's, to be honest, at least from the outside. And at a certain point, we did see a Marriott hotel. Matter of fact, let me get the name of that Marriott. So as we were riding the shuttle bus getting to the Marriott, we did happen to see the Houston Airport Marriott at George Bush Intercontinental. Let me give you guys that address. That address is 18700 John F. Kennedy Boulevard, Houston, Texas 77032. So that was the Marriott that's literally right at the airport. Like it's literally in the airport zone, basically. So we thought, oh, okay, Easirent must be at that Marriott, right? But tell me why the bus driver, like he kept on like going around that Marriott, and then he like passed that Marriott and kept on going. Like he made no stops because there wasn't a place to even for him to stop at. So we were like confused because it's like, wait, we were told that Easirent was at the Marriott. So finally, when he stopped at like a random terminal. It was Terminal C. So he stopped at Terminal C. And that's when my parents and we got off the shuttle bus. And we were trying to find the Marriott, this, that, and the third. So we were like, okay, well, maybe Terminal C is where Easirent is, and that's why they were saying to take the Marriott bus or whatever, or this bus to get to the Marriott because it's close to here, right? Child, it was not at Terminal C. They dropped us off at Terminal C, door C105. Ain't no Easirent there, but that's where the shuttle bus will take you guys, right? Don't look stupid like us. So we walked into IAH, that part of the terminal, and we were looking around and stuff, and it was basically just baggage claim and this, that, and the third. Like it wasn't no Easirent. Like what's going on? So we asked a couple of people, like, you know, where's his rental car place? So we finally went back outside to like the area in front of Terminal C, where it's basically like a drop off, pickup, shuttle buses. It's like basically to get picked up to go somewhere area. So we finally asked one of like the security people, like, hey, where's Easirent, this, that, and the third? And they told us, oh, it's at this Marriott. Which, let me give you guys, well, that, hold on, let me see. Yeah, so they said, no, it's not at that Marriott. It's at this Marriott. It's at the, which it's not, now that I'm looking at it, it's not even like actual Marriott hotel. It's called Spring Hill Suites by Marriott at the Intercontinental Airport. Their address is probably the same as Easirent, but I'm just going to say it again because Easirent was housed in this hotel. The address was 15840 John F. Kennedy Boulevard, Houston, Texas 77032, United States. So, once we found out that it wasn't at the Marriott that's at the airport, it's actually at the Marriott that's 10 minutes away from the airport, we were low-key mad because it's like, this is like off the airport grounds. Like, why is this the only rental car company that's off the airport grounds? And I was already kind of growing suspicious. But the thing is, it's like, my dad had already paid for the rental car, this, that, and the third. So it's kind of like we were thinking, oh, once we get there, the car should be ready to go and we're good to go. Y'all, mind you, at this point, it was close to 2 p.m., you guys, because it was 2 p.m. I know it was, because I was like watching my watch. Because, so the airport security guy, once I told him that we're trying to get to Easirent, and he told us about this Spring Hill Marriott location, he said, you have to call Marriott and tell them to send a shuttle bus to you here. And it's like, what? Like, that's usually not the norm. Like, none of this is the norm, you guys. But it's like, okay, like, we'll do it. And in hindsight, I'm pretty sure, like, they've been dealing with that for months. So they already know the routine. They already know we're finna get scammed. So they're like, just call them. So I ended up calling that hotel, which, mind you, I'm not blaming Spring Hill Suites Hotel per se. It's just that I'm only blaming them because they're housing Easirent, but it's really not their fault. So I called Spring Hill Suites Hotel, right, you guys? And it was a lady that picked up, and I told her, hey, I was told that for Easirent, we're supposed to call and get a shuttle. I'm at Terminal C, door 105. Are you able to send a shuttle our way? And she said, yeah, the shuttle will be there in 10 to 15 minutes. Y'all, I should have known she was lying because, yeah, my parents and I, we literally waited there way more than 10 to 15 minutes. Matter of fact, once the 15 minutes was up, my dad was like, hey, let me call on my phone, right? But when he called, he got a busy line. So I guess, like, she was on the phone with somebody else, this, that, and the third. But it was ridiculous. Like, this is the thing too. When I first talked to her, she said, it'll be there in 10 to 15 minutes. Look out for a white van that says Spring Hill Suites. Y'all, it was about 10,000 white vans that passed us, and ain't none of them said Spring Hill Suites. Like, none of them said Spring Hill Suites at all. And it was so crazy because it was like every time a white van pulled up, my parents and I would be like, oh, that's it. And it was like, wait. No, that's not it. That's a whole different, like, white van. And it's so many white vans that be pulling up in that pull up to the airport, you guys. Like, that was the worst description ever. And mind you, I did peep that there was another couple. It was like this dude and this, like, pregnant lady. They had been standing there before us. I didn't know that they were waiting for the same shuttle that we were waiting for, right? So they waited another good 20 minutes before leaving, and we waited like an extra like 20 minutes after that, so because we were there for like 35 minutes, right? So I had seen that. I did notice that they disappeared at one point, but I didn't see exactly where they went, nothing like that, because I was so focused on trying to find this white van that says Spring Hill Suites on it, right? And so after a while, it was like we were starting to see the same shuttles and the same buses come like twice, 3 times at that. And it's like, okay, it shouldn't take that long to send a damn shuttle to the airport, especially at the airport. Like, come on, like, I feel like you're picking up people all day. Like, you should have a shuttle running like all day, every 10 minutes, like, for real, for real. So it just didn't make any sense. And then, mind you, if we had known Easirent was like way off the shuttle grounds or the airport grounds, we would have told our Uber driver to drop us off at the actual Easirent location. But who would have thought that Easirent is like 10 minutes away from the actual airport? It doesn't make sense. So finally, my dad, my parents, all of us, we were like, enough is enough. So we ended up stopping this one shuttle that was like something like DoubleTree by Marriott. So it was like a Marriott type shuttle. It was actually 2 shuttles that were like stopped at that time. Like they had just stopped for like a minute. And so the one shuttle had like this Latino man. He was really nice. And the other shuttle, it was like a black driver. And we had asked the black driver at first, like, hey, cause I think I don't know who he was servicing, but we had asked, like, do you know when the Spring Hill Suites by Marriott shuttle bus will come? Like, what's going on with that? And he said, oh, I remember seeing the manager driving the shuttle bus last night and not the main worker, so something must have happened. And we're like, really? Because whenever somebody says something like that, that means somebody must have gotten fired, and ain't nobody driving no shuttle bus, in my opinion. So we're like, what the heck? Like, how are we gonna get over there? This, that, and the third. Like, it was really annoying, right? That's when the Latino man stepped up, and he said he could take us to that Marriott, because he probably already knew what the heck was going on. And, you know, we tipped him really well. So he ended up taking us to Spring Hill Suites by Marriott. It was like a 10-minute drive all the way out from the airport. Like, crazy, right? Which, mind you guys, at this point, it was already like 2:30 p.m. So we've been in this for 2 hours. And the guy was really nice. So tell me why when we pulled up to the Spring Hill Suites hotel, we literally saw the white van just parked. Nobody's in the van. Like, it looked like nobody had been driving the van for like the past day. So it's like, lady, you told us the van was gonna be there in 10 to 15 minutes. You knew that shit was not gonna come, period. So it's like, that's already annoying. Already annoying, bruh. And then tell me why. Okay, so as soon as we got out the car, the van we were in to go into the Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, we still didn't see any signs that say Easirent. Like, no sign. Like, you would think that would be plastered big by like the Marriott sign, or you would think you would see like a rental car parking lot next to it. No, the only parking lot that we saw was like it's called like the parking spot, which is basically airport parking, but it wasn't like a rental car type area. So it's like, this ain't adding up. I thought we were in the wrong place, to be honest. But we ended up walking into the Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, and we went up to the lady at the front desk, and we were like, oh, we're here for Easirent, but we don't see it. And she was like, oh, it's over there. Y'all, like, and I have a video of it, so I can insert the video of the whole room, you guys. Like, I got video proof for evidence, because why the hell is Easirent renting out a literally like 4x4 foot room? They don't even have like no real sign that says Easirent on the door. They literally just typed something in Microsoft Word, printed it out on that 8x11. It ain't even like heavyweight paper. Like, it was some cheap paper that they printed that stuff out, stuck it with tape on the wall, and say Easirent open for business, hours of business 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Like, what? How unprofessional, in my opinion.
Yeah. Man, you can actually put all that stuff in the luggage. You filming it? Mm-hmm. Just not there, so you don't gotta carry it.
And it's like they're literally just renting out a little old suite out of the Marriott, like downstairs. Like, this is the suite that most people would probably, honestly, like, you wouldn't even hold a meeting in that suite. So I don't even know. It literally looked like a glamorized shack, you guys. Like, when my dad, mom, and I walked into that little glamorized, glorified shack or whatever, me and my mom, we were like, oh, because we already knew, like, why is this place looking so raggedy? Like, for real. And it's like, tell me why the energy of the room was like not it, y'all. Like, nobody looked happy. Everybody looked like they've been there for a while. Like, folks was just sitting there. Folks looked mad too, but people weren't going off just yet type thing. So I guess, I don't know. And like, the first thing they told us to do as soon as we got into the room, they're like, oh, you're here to rent a car? We're like, yeah. Okay, go over there and scan that QR code that's on the wall. Mind you, it's 2 QR codes on the wall. It's like a really small one, then a super big one. You would think to just scan like the small one, but they're like, oh no, you gotta scan the big one. Actually, they didn't say that. It was like the people in the room, they're like, oh, you gotta scan the big one. We're like, oh, okay. And oh, mind you, tell me why when I walked into the room too, I peeped that couple that I saw earlier at the Terminal C, that they were probably, I guess, come to find out, they're waiting for the same Spring Hills white van as us. So I don't know how they got there before us, because I didn't even see them leave. But they were in that little glorified shack too. So it was about like maybe 10 people total in that room. That room can't even hold 10 people. So my mom and I, we just walked straight out and like waited in the lobby area. But we are already kind of feeling like this don't sound right, you know? And come to find out, you guys, some of them folks in that room were waiting for like over an hour, like 2 hours for a rental car. And I'm like, there's no place in the world where you have to wait 2 hours for a rental car. No place in this godforsaken world. And if you are, you're getting scammed. Like, don't fall for it. Easirent is not so easy to rent, so I don't even know why they call themselves that, y'all. So my mom and I, we were chilling in the lobby. I went to go use the bathroom, right? And I remember passing like the pool area, and I was seeing like 2 or 3 guys in the same purple shirt and like black pants. But I didn't think anything of it because I didn't know they worked for Easirent. Y'all, tell me why they was just chilling outside by the pool, like sunbathing on their phones, like they have no care in the world. But again, I didn't know they worked for Easirent, but I peeped that. So I was like, all right now. All right. So I used the bathroom. I came back out, and then like my mom and I, we were thirsty, so we got some like water. And I don't know, by a certain point, it was like, what's taking so long? So I went back into Easirent. That's when folks were starting to go off. Like, that's when there were like these 2 white ladies in the actual glamorized or glorified shack, and they were going off. They're like, can you cancel my order, this, that, and the third, because we've been here for 2 hours. Like, I'm gonna need some paperwork or something to show that this has been canceled. And I remember the lady was talking to this one girl that was like working on, I guess, trying to cancel her stuff. Tell me why the girl walked out the room and she was never seen again. I'm like, that's so unprofessional. Like, what the heck? And by this point, that was when my dad, he was kind of getting the weird vibe and was like, all right, yeah, let's go ahead and cancel this, because this is, you know, kind of weird, blah, blah, blah. I started peeping in the room, you guys, because Easirent, that was only plastered on the wall, but it's like you don't see Easirent like in the actual room. Like, there's no business cards, nobody has name tags, nobody wanted to give their name. All the workers at one point left this glamorized shack or glorified shack, and it was to the point where I could have easily like gone onto their computer and like seen what the hell was up. But I was smarter than that. I went to the cabinet, right? I went to the cabinet where they have all the keys, right? Tell me why I opened up that cabinet. Ain't no keys in the cabinet, y'all. I was like, you know what? And I told everybody in that room, I was like, they ain't got no keys in this cabinet. And you know, that really made hella folks mad. They were like, what? Ain't no keys in the cabinet? Like, what you mean? And I was like, ain't no keys. I went like this. Ain't no keys come out. Like, if you do something like this in a cabinet, you should have like 50, 60 keys coming out, like flying out. Nothing flying out but air. So finally, like one of the workers finally came back, and they made the announcement that, oh, we don't have any cars to rent, but we may have a car available by 8 p.m. What? It's like, what you mean you ain't got no cars? Like, that's when everybody was like through. Everybody just threw up their hands. They're like, I need a refund. Like, what you mean ain't no cars? And I was like, you know what? Now it makes sense why I seen those workers in the back and they weren't doing shit because it wasn't anything to do. So they was just out there chilling. And I'm like, y'all are on the computer for what? What y'all doing? Like, y'all ain't got no cars to rent out, so why y'all on the computer? If y'all on the computer, y'all need to be canceling stuff. So that's when folks was really like, okay, cancel this ish. Like, I want my refund, this, that, and the third. Tell me why the workers was like, oh, y'all not getting no refunds. They basically said they can't give us refunds. Like, they said if you book directly through us, then yes, you can get a refund. But if you book through a third party and this, that, and the third, then you can't get a refund. But even if you do book through us, the refund isn't guaranteed. It's like, what you mean? Like, the refund isn't guaranteed? If you ain't got no cars, you did not do your service correctly. So I'm gonna need my funds back. Like, I don't care if it's $35. I don't care if it's $1. Like, y'all scamming at this point, because I just feel like the website shouldn't let you rent a car that's not even available. Like, why are y'all here? So at this point, my dad was like, well, I need some type of proof that I'm here. Like, y'all don't have any business cards. I need a name. Like, nobody wanted to give out a name. There were no business cards. Like, it was like, what y'all doing here? Like, y'all are literally just a shack in this Spring Hill Marriott hotel. Like, what's going on? And that's when I was like, well, I'm gonna film the room. Like, that should be some evidence, right? So I filmed the room. Yes, I filmed the room because I don't care. I also made sure to get a picture of the outside of the Marriott because ain't no cars outside. Nothing said Easirent. Nothing looked like a rental car. It was like, why are y'all here? Like, why are y'all here? Like, nothing was easy about renting. Like, and at this point, it's already like 3:30, you guys. Like, we've been at this since 12:30. Like, are you joking? And so after I filmed the room and everything, I went on back outside into the lobby. And I went on my phone and I just went on avis.com, was able to book a car like that. And it was a wrap. But that shit is so crazy, you guys, because I remember even like one of the white ladies, she was so mad that she went out to the Marriott because at first she thought like this is on Marriott, which to me, I feel like it kind of, Marriott does have some to blame because why are you renting out space for a scamming ass business? Like, what? And I don't blame the Marriott employees themselves. Like, they're just there to work. But I'm just talking about whoever made that deal with Easirent and Marriott. I'm like, y'all need to boot them, evict them. I don't care if they're paying rent because they're paying rent by scamming folks. And it was so funny because this one white lady, she was so irritated. She was like, can I just complain to somebody? Like, somebody. Like, because with Easirent, it's like, you couldn't even talk to no manager, no supervisor, no nobody. It's like, what you mean? Like, I can't talk, I can't make a complaint. And it's like, you hate to be a Karen, but it's like, you didn't provide the service that you were supposed to provide. You ain't had no cars to rent. Why are y'all open? Like, that's just crazy to me. And then the fact that they said they may have a car by 8 p.m. It's like, who's waiting here till 8 p.m. for maybe a car? And get this, their hours of operation are from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So it's like, y'all would have been closed anyways if the car became available. So it's like, that's just a big F-U to us. So that ish was crazy, you guys. Like, for real, for real. But yeah, it is so funny, you guys, because as I was working on renting a car from Avis, I had seen, it was like 4 or 5 like black girls. They had just gotten out of an Uber. They had like they look cool. Like, they look like they were ready to tackle Houston. They're like, oh, thank God we're here. And out the Uber, we're about to get this rental car. Like, they seemed so happy. And honestly, I didn't want to break the news to them, but at the same time, I didn't want them to waste 3 hours like how we wasted dealing with Easirent. So I told them straight up, as soon as they asked the Marriott person, like, oh, where's Easirent? She said over there. I was like, they ain't got no cards, and if you want a refund, you still gotta go to them to get a refund, but it's not guaranteed. They was like, they stopped dead in their tracks, y'all. They were like, what you mean? Like, they were like, what you mean? I was like, they scamming folks. They scamming, like, what the heck? Like, what you mean you can't give us a refund? Like, that's so crazy. But I told my dad at the end of the day, just go through whatever third-party website you went through to get the refund, and if they don't give it to you, then just report it to Wells Fargo as fraud, like, because that ish was fraud, like, for real. But it was so funny, though, because everybody, like, all the people in that room, like, they ended up going back to the airport and renting from, like, Avis and Budget, but we were all kind of talking amongst each other. They were more mad at the fact that it took them 2 to 3 hours for them to tell everybody, like, oh, hey, we don't have any cars to rent. It's like, you could have just been straight up from the jump and just said, we don't have any cars to rent. Why beat around the bush? Like, that's so crazy. And then the thing is, too, when you get there, okay, so what if you prepay for a car and this, that, and the third? Like, you should be able to just show your license and get the keys and go. They were still asking people to provide a copy of their insurance, and you had to, like, basically refill out everything that you already did online. And it's like, y'all just, what's the word I'm looking for? Y'all just beating around the bush. Like, what is all of this? And luckily, and the thing is, too, it's like, if you don't have your insurance card on you or this, that, and the third, you have to buy their own insurance, which is like a scam. And they also say that you get unlimited miles for the ride, but that's not true. Like, you actually get charged every mile. Like, they be scamming, y'all. They be scamming. Like, that it's just crazy. Luckily for me, I had taken a picture of my insurance card, like, literally a few weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago. So I actually had a picture of our insurance card, but they were still beating around the bush with my dad. And I was like, like, you can scam me all day, but once it comes to my family, it's a wrap. Like, we ain't finna have that. Like I said, you can scam me all you want to. I don't care. But once you start doing that to, like, my parents, my dad and stuff, like, the people that I love, it's like, nah, you doing too much. Let me step in before I, like, look. And I don't even get violent like that, but it's just like, you playing, like, especially with people's money, you definitely playing, like, for real. And you talking about we can't get no refunds? That's a scam. Like, what you mean I can't get no refund? That's a scam. Long story short, like I said, we ended up getting a rental car from Avis, and we actually got a better, like, we got, like, a better rental car than expected from Avis. Because you know how, like, even with Avis, like, you may put that you want a Toyota Camry, but they'll give you something completely different. But it's like, I'd rather you scam me that way than scam me with no car. Because at least with Avis, Budget, this, and the third, they give you something. And usually it's a car that's clean, it's, you know, up to grade, this, that, and the third. So, yeah, once we got to the airport, y'all, went through the Avis line, we got that car in, like, literally 20 minutes. 20 minutes tops. Meanwhile, with Easirent, it took us, like, 3 hours. Easirent ain't so easy. So, child, that was a whole mess. But that's why I wanted to make this video. Do not rent from Easirent. I did go on Yelp, and I see that Easirent is 1-star nationwide. All locations do the same thing. All of them. They need to be reported to the Better Business Bureau, so I'm definitely going to do that, because how are you a 1-star nationwide? Like, y'all scamming nationwide doing the same thing. And, like, when you look at their reviews, it's like everyone has the same thing where they waited like 2-3 hours. They said it's no cars available, or if they did have a car available, they still scammed you by saying, oh, you get unlimited miles, but you actually don't. Toll roads, they say you can pay like a one-time fee, but it's actually not. Like, and then I seen too where Some people said months later, Easirent charged him like $100, $200 for some random ass ish. So I told my dad, or I need to tell my dad to probably cancel that card, or at least call Wells Fargo and tell them to suppress all reoccurring payments from Easirent, because it's like, you're not gonna get any more of our money, like for real. Like, you can have that little $35, but, and honestly, no, because I'm gonna get that $35 back and report to you guys. And allegedly, that Easirent that's at the IH airport, it's only been at that Marriott hotel for either 2 to 3 months, so they're fairly new. But yeah, you pay for what you get. So not everything that's cheap is worth it, you guys. Trust me. Sometimes it's just better to go ahead and pay for the real deal. Cause that ish was crazy, you guys. Like literally crazy. And I felt so bad for some of the other people that were in that room, because they were waiting way longer than us. Like, who waits? I'm not waiting 3 hours for no rental car. Like, but I guess we did. But it was like a whole adventure that we went through to get there. So it took like 3 hours to even get to or at least 2 hours to get to Easirent, and then another hour with their BS. So that literally killed almost our whole day, but we still made it up. My parents and I, we still went out, went shopping, had some really good food and this, that, and the third. So, I mean, it didn't kill their trip to Houston, but it definitely was like a damn, that wasted our time type shit. So that's why I'm making this video, because I don't want anyone else's time to be wasted, money wasted, no headaches. I don't want you to get scammed by this company. So please be aware of Easirent. They are a 1-star nationwide. They need to be reported to the Better Business Bureau. And I am going to make a Yelp review on how sucky their service is, and you do too. And if you ever rent a car, don't rent from rentalcar.com, Priceline, Expedia. Go to the actual rental car website, avis.com, budgetcar.com, national whatever.com. Don't go through these third-party websites. But anyways, you guys, that's pretty much all I have for this little video. Just a quick little story time PSA for you guys, warning. But yes, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day other than that. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Why are you so cute?